Welcome back everyone to the Netherlands here in Victoria 2 playing the Historical Project mod. And what we will do today is try our best to wrestle back Belgium from the French hands. They are here under French overlordship in the French sphere, allied to France, but they have a very small military. Of course that's shored up by, France being the power that they are and defeating Germany left, right and center, which is unfortunate. France itself have alliances with Russia here and Austria-Hungary, supposedly against Germany, since the German Empire is quite strong, even though militarily not very, I would say. Austria-Hungary are a main rival to keep the great power status here. Actually, what is our rank at the moment? Our rank is... wait, I meant all, there we go. Our rank right now is 8th with 292 in total score. They are 70 below, but their industry is catching up fast, so we have to keep an eye out for Austria-Hungary and try to get every single point that we can at every single moment that we can. We don't want to get rid of our quite substantial sphere of influence at the moment. If we look here, we have... wait, there we go. We have our belt here, going all the way from... is this... well, Volta down to Nigeria over here. We are working our way to get Sokoto, the Sokoto Caliphate, back under our sphere. And Ashanti, I assume we will get at one point or another. Actually, maybe the Ashanti. There will be a maybe on Ashanti. Damagaram Sultanate is also one that we really should get. Get back. And our main rival here is, funnily enough, France as well. They have the Bambara Empire, Vatara. What is this over here? Actually, that is France itself. They also have Trarza and some other things. So France will be our main rival here in Western Africa, which is unfortunate because France is our rival in every way possible. Our own alliances though, we have Italy, our faithful ally that, well, kind of got screwed in the last war, and also Spain. Spain, however, is not very strong, but they can be useful. Their army tech is terrible, utterly shit. France here has a military tech of 10, or army tech of 10, or 10 out of 30, I mean, research, 105 brigades. Italy has 74 brigades and an army tech of 8. We, however, have an army tech of... wait, that's not a technology tree at all. We have 12, so we're ahead, and we're trying to push our advantage in that direction. And speaking of military, we're currently promoting craftsmen in Holland and Zealand, our two most populous state regions, not counting Java, even though West Java would be so nice. 2 million. We should probably instead encourage soldiers, since we need more soldiers in our armies, so we can produce more, well, brigades, really. That's all we want in life. We actually have way too many artillery to accompany our infantry, so it would be nice to get some more infantry going. Can we recruit any? We can recruit some in Suez, but that's way over here. We can actually recruit some Suez soldiers. That's interesting. But we won't. We have one of our colonial armies down here, after having defeated some of the Nigerian caliphate. Would it be wise to call them caliphates? I don't think so. Bari, Aro, and everyone else. Okay, we will issue an apology to Portugal. You're apologized for going into debt and crashing your economy, I guess. Sure, whatever. Let's speed up a little bit. We're earning mad cash, which would be one way to describe it. We're earning quite a bit, and we have a substantial war treasury in case of prolonged war, and we're not even taxing them 100%. Only 72% for the lower class and 50% for the other classes. And we actually have a very rich upper class comparably. Dahomey grants extraterritoriality. Wonderful. Dahomey, wasn't that part of our already? It is. So we got free prestige, which is good. We need more prestige to, well, keep the Austrians away from us. Otherwise we'll have to go into war with them again. I wonder if Italy even has any more territory that they can claim. They do actually. They can claim the Dalmatian coast over here. So they could claim Istria. And you could also claim Fiume, which would be stupid because Germany controls Fiume. And they could also claim some here in Sadar. And anything else? No, that's all. Okay, that's all they can claim over there. Oh, one is done. Don't really care about Western New Guinea. There's not really much there for us to care about. Strategic mobility would be good. I mean, the whole dig-in cap and fort max level is perhaps not the most important thing for us, but those inventions there for infantry and everything, +1 in defense, that's pretty decent. So we should probably get that. Army decision making, because we need a military tactics and morale. We will get that next after we get point defense system. And go along those lines. We are kind of deprioritizing industry a little bit, but our industry should be fine despite that. This is a Sokoto Caliphate. We can now add to our sphere, which will make our... Oh no, not communists. Okay, so that will make our sphere look much better, much better. We really do need to get into Ashanti as well. Or Ashanti? Is it Ashanti or Ashanti? I feel both works. Both would work. And we should probably get into the Damagaram Sultanate, but that will be a low priority. If we could get all of these, there will be a very nice block of land over here. Plus we have Egypt as well. So I feel our sphere of influence is doing pretty well in the colonial holdings at least. We are getting some monitors done, which is wonderful, because we need a better fleet. A stronger fleet. We're still not getting any points at all. Our capital ships, 0.8 basically, 0.9 if we round upwards. France's, however, let's see, for France, military, their capital ships 13. How many ships do they have? Well, probably more than we do. No, they have far fewer ships than we do. Yet they have a much greater score. I wouldn't be surprised if even Austria-Hungary has... Well, they almost have as much capital ships as us, and they have 12 ships. I don't know why we're getting so few points from all of this. They have soldiers and army 83. That's more than our entire army combined. We have 25. Austria-Hungary has 50. We have 32, so I suppose that's fair. But still, we barely getting any points for anything when it comes to the army. Our industrial power is admittedly fairly weak, so I'm not surprised that we're not getting much from there. And also, for some reason, Belgium really loves us all the time, so we can't even make our own claim now because they loved us too much. Now see, now they're going back up again. What the hell? Stop liking us, Belgium. We don't like you. So either putting it under our sphere or acquire state. Make puppet would also be fairly nice. Select the type of justification we want to manufacture. Why can't we do it? Apparently we cannot... Oh, come on, they started liking us again. Stupid Belgium, stop liking us. Okay, point defense system. Get going with that. Belgium. Luxembourg declares independence. Well. That's not nice. France. We will get a casus belli on France. Come on. There will be hell to pay. Well, we could get, nice things from there. We could also get just prestige and then leave Luxembourg be. Luxembourg is inconsequential to us at this point. We're more focused on Belgium itself. So getting the prestige would be nice. At least we won't lose any prestige. So we will do that. We also have a lot of various casus belli, which would be nice because now we can... Okay, for example, if we want to take Belgium, we could do that. Call allies, they will not accept none of them. Not a single fucker of them will accept a war against France. I wonder though, if we go through Luxembourg, for example, if we decrease relations with Luxembourg, we should probably have a casus belli against them. Don't we? Well, apparently they won't really show here. We'll see if we have anything against Belgium. Actually, we only have justified war. Crap, so we don't know if any of our allies will actually help us. Why wouldn't, for example, Italy help us? Is it that they don't have enough money, or is there something else that is in their way? Due to socialist and liberal dominance in the upper house over here, we can push through a reform. Most people in movements want minimum wage movement, or increased minimum wage. Yeah, let's put it like that. and we can only do, in fact, social reform. Doing that would be fairly wise. We're starting to have more, like the Dutch communists are organizing in a greater fashion. Going for low minimum wage would mean our factories would have to pay out more, which would make them probably harder to compete against other things, but we will go for a low minimum wage. We have a fairly strong socialist support in our country, which is scary, admittedly. So now we have a lot of monitors. Probably get a few more monitors since they are doing us good things. Monitors! There we go. Let's go for 3 more of those and 9 more in Asia. Should be fairly nice. Can we recruit more units now in... We actually can. We will get 1 more infantry in Rotterdam. We can only mobilize 16 brigades in case of war. Meanwhile, France over here can mobilize far more. If we go for Luxembourg, then would anyone join us? No. Those bastards. I really need Germany on my side, but while they love us, I don't think they really care for us, unfortunately. So we are on our own. We either have to defeat France all by ourselves or wait for the opportune moment to strike. When they fight against Germany next time, we will strike like a viper. Just breathe down their necks and just, you know, what do vipers do? Bite people, attack them, so kind of... I don't know what I'm talking about. But, you know, we will do what vipers do. Be mean, cruel, and kill people, probably, with our venom. This analogy is going nowhere. In Ashanti, things are going... well, things are going. Well, actually, we are really friendly with people over here. So we started out pretty great with them. Over here, though, no one is friendly. United States, they're even hostile towards for some reason. It's like modern day. We also have the Bornu Empire, which I always found to be interesting name for them. Not really what I would envision an empire to be. Army decision making, get it up. Oh, Italy is actually fighting against Fiume. This is what I said, you should not do this. You are fighting against mother bleeping Germany. Germany is not to be trifled with. And we're losing prestige now, thanks Italy. Use your brain. It's not that difficult. It's quite useful, in fact, to use brains. God damn it. Belgium, give us no reason. Okay, so we are perma-banned in Belgium. We cannot get through in Brussels. Things are just looking terrible. In that regard, at least. So they really have a hard-on for Fiume. In case people were not aware, Fiume was actually an independent country for a couple of years. I can't remember if it was after World War I or World War II. I think it's World War I. They were independent for the free city of Fiume or something like that. Yeah. I actually read about small European countries. There was one village in... where was it? It's somewhere here in Italy, in central Italy, that was independent for 4 centuries. It's 300 people or something like that. Being like, well, we're an independent country. Which was pretty convenient for them. And there was also one small village in it was southern Tuscany, I believe, where the Pope at the time was selling land to Florence. And that little strip of land that included the village was forgotten to be mentioned in the peace treaty. So by accident, they kind of, like by mistake, they become independent, because when they realized that they weren't mentioned in the peace treaty and they weren't being transferred over to Tuscany, they kind of just declared independence and became a republic. And they were independent for about 400 years, I believe. And there was also a village similar here between Portugal and Spain, which was independent for a number of centuries. It's interesting how those countries, well, countries and countries, sovereign nations, whatever you call them, existed, and yet no one knows about them. They were incredibly small. Like Vatican City is small. If not even smaller than that. I just find it fascinating that they could have existed for so long without, you know, one of their neighboring countries being like, well, we are revoking your independent status right now. Perhaps people were a bit more reasonable in the past, in some ways. Ashanti is done, we can put them under a sphere. We now have a solid holding here. We have lost Bambara and Vatara, we cannot get them back. It's just something that we have to accept. We will not let them do anything in Morocco though. France is starting to challenge us in that region and we won't accept it. So considering some of our factories are doing worse now, this was steamer shipyards though. Perhaps that is, and there was also in the Dutch West Indies, so not some... Why would you build a sawmill in Dutch West Indies anyway? Well, we probably get assembly line, since it's a really good one, and we also get some fairly decent inventions over here as well as the factory throughput tech 10%. Always good to have, always good to have. We even climbed now to 7th place, while our military power for some reason, I believe, lowered? Question mark? Let them be more liberal. So who will be in the command of this army here? It is Barthout van Dambenoy. Dambenoy. Yeah, Barthout. Do we have anyone that is even remotely decent in comparison? Well, we have some that will give nice morale to people, but that's not enough. We need someone that is well-rounded, which is pretty much what he already is. But I want someone better. Though I gotta say, most of the time, the auto... Well, I was like, oh, this guy is pretty good. It turns out to already be that guy. Gerard van der Kapellen? No. But it should be said, it should be mentioned that the auto-select generals for armies is usually pretty darn good at picking the right generals. Usually it's pretty darn good. And we'll go putting it under a sphere and hopefully getting enough so we can ban France outright as soon as they try something. There's actually quite a few nations that have been trying, at least in the past. Well, you can't really call this trying for Italy's sake. How's the war going, Italy? It's actually still going around. But they're losing. They're losing quite heavily. Then again, what do you expect from Germany? Germany here is actually calling for the cutting down of Italy down to size, which is not good at all from our perspective. Somehow... Wait, okay, they have 15 infamy. I was going to say, oh god, now things are happening. There's a second Austro-Hungarian restoration of order to the blah 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 provinces. Annex Fiume. There's always so much war against Fiume. Okay. So if I were to... God damn it, I lost the thing now. We should probably observe a little bit and see how it goes. Germany is already in a war and they're a bit taken by surprise at the moment. So while things could go our way, it could also be that Germany, which is already very weakened, could be even more weak. Which wouldn't be very strong. Plus our ally over here, Spain, is having some issues with a rebellion of sorts. And the German fleet is suffering losses in the Battle of Öresund, which is not very good. So in general, I'm not very optimistic with our ability to win over here. Italy is now free of war, but they have been devastated by it. They would still accept an alliance, but looking at how Germany counter-trounced them, it doesn't seem like it would be valid. Dutch Lesser Indies can... it's Antilles. Can be made into a state. Sure, we will do that. Curacao and Aruba. Cool places. There's so few people living in Aruba. You could just go there and build a house wherever you wanted and claim it for yourself. I wish you could... Maybe you can institute some sort of program like that in the game, where you give out land for free. A bit like how United States did it during the 19th century. Nice, some extra prestige that will cover up the loss of Italy. Unfortunately, France just doesn't have it. Holy shit! How many people can they call upon in... They have... Holy fucking hell. They have And they're increasing through the... Well, I'm assuming through the reserves being mobilized. But they're walking around like 1 million men. How am I supposed to defeat that? They have 10 times as many troops as I do. And they can call in 500,000 men. Seriously. Not cool. Not cool at all. Can we get any more from this mobilization impacts? Well, perhaps it would be good to get revolution and counter-revolution for some more mobilization. But seriously, France, what is one man supposed to do? Like Germany, in comparison, has so few men. So few men. And while they also get some troops from mobilization, they just have so much they're fighting against. So there's no way to utilize Germany in this regard. Holy shit. And somehow... Wait, did they get back South Tyrol now? Apparently they did. I don't know why. I don't know why. Perhaps it was from the cutting down to size and releasing it, but still. Still. Luxembourg, sure, do whatever you want, and we abandon Belgium again. But France is just such a dominant power. And France now will, I am assuming, acquire Alsace-Lotharingen. Though they are actually losing the war, somehow. They've been losing the battles. But the French military strength is a bit too... Actually, not that good anymore. Hey, this seems like a perfect opportunity to attempt again. Come on, Belgium, I don't want to be your friends. I don't want to be friends with you. Do you understand me? Though, however, okay, catch my drift over here. There's a thing that I'm thinking of. We could just, do, for example, take from sphere of influence. It costs very little infamy. It takes about the same amount of days as anything else. We could do that, claim Belgium into our sphere of influence, finally. So, France would be cast out and we won't really have to deal with that. Then, when we are ready, we could just throw them out of our sphere of influence, when there's no way for anyone to get involved. Make a state and then, go for it. So I think that would be the safest bet. Plus, we won't really be losing too much if we fail with this one. So that's what we will do. The Dutch Red Star, it's... I'd rather have 5% of the rich become socialist than 5% of the poor, due to the rich being so much fewer. So fewer. We have the Liberale Party, and despite it being in power, we are doing fairly well economically. We're not, unfortunately, getting the amount of ammunition that we could use, though, which is not the best. We could go for high-pressure steam engine, unless if we're missing something. Or we could go for collectivist. Collectivist theory, let's go for that. This one costs 3.4 infamy. Germany is actually beating back, they are fighting back. Well, holy shit. They must have lost so many men in the war. Down to 190, 176 brigades. Holy shit. And we got done with the Suez Canal, wonderful. The Gold Coast Treaty. The British government has approached us with the hopes of negotiating a treaty. They want to solidify control over the Gold Coast in Africa, specifically by annexing our colony at Secondi. In return, they will recognize our colonial holdings elsewhere and encourage greater cooperation between our nations. Fuck you, Britain. We will not accept. We will not... Oh, the war is over. Germany won, and France here was beaten back. However, we could still push through with our attempt. We could still do it. And now we have the Suez Canal. Import cost minus 20%, prestige and tariff efficiency. Wonderful in every single way. We built it. We did it. No other nations have done that. And so with the Suez Canal having been built, I think this is a pretty good place to wrap it up for now. When we come back next time, we will go to war against France. Maybe we will be alone, maybe we won't. We will call all our troops and try to do our best. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one.